Welcome back to the Weeb Lounge. And have you ever watched an anime where you think that your intelligence is really being questioned for the worse? Yeah. This show, it's called Humanity Has Declined. And after watching this show, I think my intelligence has declined. Okay, guys, this anime is incredibly odd. It's almost hard to put into words. It's a post-apocalyptic type anime that is more of a slice of life. Now, if you know what a slice of life anime is, it's essentially like every episode is more or less self-contained, and it's just a main person or persons kind of going about their daily life in a specific setting, which can be comedic or whatever the intention of the show is. Most famously, Lucky Star. Think of Lucky Star. It's just the characters being the characters, and you know, everybody loves Lucky Star. I love Lucky Star. And that's what a slice of life anime is. The best comparison I ever thought of was comparing it to Seinfeld, a show about nothing. It's all about the characters, day-to-day stuff, and silly situations. Well, this silly situation takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth. And I don't know what blew up. You know, apparently there's a big conflict or something, and things got kind of bad. But the weird thing is that humanity seems to be going on a downturn, meaning, you know, less people are born, less people are caring about anything. Technology is starting to become lost. Certain things are not needed anymore. And overall, you know, it's just humanity's just kind of slowly fading away. You know, not because of a virus or anything like that. It's just like humanity kind of just don't give a shit no more, I guess. And they're just slowly starting to fade away. Well, that's where we're going to bring in the main character, the Mediator, or as she's affectionately known by the faeries, yes, there's fairies in this one, as Mrs. Sweets. We never find out her real name. No clue what her real name is. She's always referred to as one or the other. And she is the mediator because she is supposed to be like the middleman or negotiator, mediator between humans and this new race that popped up, the fairies. The fairies are weird. Okay, they look like yard gnomes, kind of, without the beard. Okay, little puppets, little happy things, always smiling all the time, okay? It's basically a new species of humanoid that popped up on Earth. How, when, where, what from? Was it caused by humans, in spite of humans? What? Nobody really knows. Nobody has a clue. But these things, they really like sweets. Can't get enough sugar, okay? And that's why the mediator is referred to as Mrs. Sweets by them, because she's always giving them candy and sweets and everything, and which they really appreciate. Now these little fairies, they're actually, they seem aloof. They seem like they're always having fun, always joking around, always doing practical jokes, just not a care in the world. But in reality, they're really intelligent. They are super intelligent. And their technology borderlines on magic. That's how advanced it is. Nobody can really explain it. It just does whatever the heck it is it's supposed to do. Yeah, okay. Well, here's one example. The fairies apparently created like this magic spoon or something, right? And the meteor likes to cook, and she finds this spoon, and turns out this spoon she can stick it in her head and pull out flour. Head flour, whatever. She can get flour out of her head, and she's going to use this flour to bake cookies. Okay? Well, she does this a little too much. She starts to shrink and she starts to get dumber. Why? She's essentially scooping her brains out and making cookies with them. The problem kind of resolves itself when she eats all the cookies, and all the brain matter, I guess, goes magically back into her head. She's back to normal. But why would you dig anything out of your skull to bake cookies? Immediately you have to think there's something not quite right with this, right? You'd think. I would think so. You don't use your head, but not in that way. Okay. Now, there's another. This is almost like a little bit of a famous one, right? She's walking around. She's taking a tour of this bread factory. All right, and there's this little cyborg loaf of bread thing. Okay, basically it's a loaf of bread with arms and legs, and it's a robot, and it's essentially designed to give a tour. Okay, so it's the mascot. And it actually comes off as kind of cute, you know. It's a little cutesy loaf of bread going around explaining, you know, how bread's made and stuff and everything. And at the very end of the tour, the bread starts to seem like it's having a little bit of a crisis. Like the AI in this thing is really good apparently because, you know, it comes across as a human personality, right? Well, he starts rattling off and all of a sudden just reaches up, grabs the top of his head, and rips himself in half. Blood starts gushing out of this cyborg loaf of bread that you didn't think would have blood in it, and it's gushing everywhere. It gets all over the Mediator. It gets all over everything. And then, you know, there's some old guy, like the director of the plant or something, standing behind her and be like, hey, why don't you try a piece of bread? That's what it's doing. No! You just committed suicide and bled on me. I'm not also going to just eat a slice of sentient bread that bled on me. No. It turns out it's supposed to be carrot bread, and for some reason there's a lot of extra juice in this one. They might have overdone it a little bit. It's creepy as all hell, but at the same time, when you watch it, the way it's presented, it's hilarious. It's hilariously creepy, if that's the way to put it. It's just bad. Okay. Anyways, that's pretty much the whole gist of this. Is the Mediator managing things between the faeries, humans, and the faeries always causing mischief. And then you have a few other characters. You have like two people called Pioneer and Voyager. Okay, now these two characters, and a lot of the names are kind of just taken from inanimate objects. Well, it turns out these two are actually the satellites we sent into space. Somehow they gained humanoid form and evolved, came back to Earth. They're basically robots, but nobody knew it or something. And there was this project that kind of came to be that was going to send them back out into space to, you know, survey and hopefully save mankind, the Human Monument Program or something like that. And they didn't want to go, so the Mediator ends up like sabotaging it or something. This thing's weird. This show's weird. You have one character, you know, like manga, anime, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't exist in this world, right? But this one girl finds some manga and anime on an old DVD or something and ends up sharing it with the rest of the world. She gains a lot of prestige from this because here's this lost manuscript, lost stuff, and she's throwing it out all over the place. Turns out a lot of it's porn, which in any age, I guess, is very, very sought after. It don't matter. But, you know, she also finds herself liking yaoi a little too much. You got the bread blood, you got the fairies, you got a whole bunch of dumb stuff. That's what this show is. And, oh man, and things are dinging around me. I got a whole bunch of things dinging around me. But anyways, Humanity Has Declined is one of those shows that I can't really say I really like it. I can't really say that I hate it. It's one of those where it has a few moments that were worth watching, and everything else just kind of... Maybe it's a little too hard to understand sometimes. Maybe they don't explain too much. Maybe I just don't care. It's one of those shows. So my opinion of this show is you have to watch it for yourself and make your own judgment. I can't honestly sit here and say I love it or I hate it. I am just absolutely indifferent to this series. And with that, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, assuming you're not indifferent. And my God, that loaf of bread. We'll see you in the next episode.